It's time to take you through this week in Nicholls Athletics as we bring you the best of Colonel sports from Nicholls State University. This week in Nicholls Athletics is presented by State Farm Insurance. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state with State Farm Insurance. Thanks for joining us this morning for This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. Hope your weekend is off to a great start. Coming up on today's program, we'll take a look at this past Wednesday's men's basketball nail-biter against Northwestern State and chat with the Colonel's men's and women's tennis head coach, Meenakshi Sundaram. We'll also highlight a student who has made some major contributions to Nicholls Athletics off the field. We lead off our show with a story of some former Colonels who are helping to build the next generation of student athletes and provide a pipeline for some of them back to Nicholls. Julie Baudouin has more.
Nicholls State University has seen thousands of student athletes over the years. Some remain engaged with the Nicholls community because of the values you can learn at a smaller university. Claire Minto, Nathan Cotton, and David McCormick are all former Nicholls student athletes who are now coaching high school athletics in the surrounding areas. They all agree on one thing: Nicholls may not be the biggest school, but the community feeling it gives sets the university apart.
When I came and visited Nicholls campus, it was kind of like an enlarged high school. You know, the classes are small enough where the teachers can get to know you. They knew you by name, you know, not by roster number. You could walk from class to class, you know, in minutes, and it felt homey to me. I guess because it wasn't real spread out, you know. It's unique. Most campuses aren't like that. So I really encourage it. I think if people come and visit the campus, they would fall in love with it the way I did.
The biggest thing is the relationships that you can build, because it's community in itself, you know, the size of the school is actually one of its assets, and that, you know, it's not this huge campus where you can't go and meet other people, and, you know, it's not like separate worlds in itself, you know. It's a nice little community. It's inside, you know, Thibodaux's a nice community, and I think all of those characteristics give it its ability to attract players.
Nicholls is a great community school. You know, when I was there, it was like a big family. It was like a big family. I think when I was there, I think it might have had maybe 8,000, 9,000 students. You know, I don't know what it's at like now, but it was like it was a community-based school. You know, you'd walk down the halls, the administration, you know, in your college, the instructors, the professors, they would know you by name. You know, you got to know them on a personal level, and that's what makes a difference than going to, you know, another school where you're just a social security number posted on a paper.
South Terrebonne's defensive coordinator, David McCormick, believes that Nicholls helps its student athletes gain perspective of what really goes on once you step out into the real world.
Prepared me by the coaches I had and by the instructors I had. Coach Rodriguez was my position coach in college, and he taught me things that I teach to my defensive players. Professor Poinbuff, Dr. Poinbuff, was the head of the health and PE department when I was there. You know, and he prepared me for what life was going to be like out of the classroom in college, you know, going on to dealing with the kids and dealing with the administration and dealing with the parents. You know, it prepared me very well for my role as a coach at the high school level.
Terrebonne High head football coach Gary Hill and Minto experienced different levels of difficulty in transitioning from player to coach, but both agree that having played for Nicholls has helped teach their players the correct way.
You just had to transition from being the guy in practice to being the guy controlling practice. That was the hardest thing, was you wanted to get in there and you wanted to show them how to do it, but you had to tell them how to do it. And that was the hardest transition I had, being able to relate from being a player to being a coach and learning the process of turning those kids into players.
It was very difficult. My first year out of playing, I was a grad assistant at Nicholls. So that was probably one of my hardest years. It killed me not to be on the court. I wanted to be on the court. I think that was my transition year, because after that I came to HL and the coaching role felt a little more normal to me. It felt like where I needed to be. I still miss playing. I don't think that ever goes away for an athlete, but the coaching is so gratifying to see a player go from A to B to C and truly just see their growth. Whereas playing, you don't see yourself grow. You know, it's just, I think, somewhat more gratifying as a coach.
These former Colonel student athletes maintain both a healthy professional and personal relationship with their alma mater. The position experiences they had during their college careers makes them eager to encourage their qualified students to attend Nicholls.
We have a player here that's already signed, Zachary LaBeouf, so he's headed to Nicholls next year, so we're excited for that. And like I said, you know, a lot has to do with the Nicholls coaches, Coach Thibodeau and his staff, to be able to get out and about and you know, I commend him for recruiting local talent, and I hope that the guys from around here appreciate those opportunities and stick it out and are able to help Nicholls.
With me knowing the ins and outs of women's basketball because I was there, I also stayed after and worked as a grad assistant, so I feel like I know what they're looking for. I feel like I know the caliber that needs to play there in order to make Nicholls successful in the Southland Conference. I stay in contact with Coach Plaisance and Catherine Blanchard and Justin Payne, the assistants and the head women's basketball coach. Having the connection there and still helping out, it shows the girls that I have pride in my university. It gives them something to look forward to, and it also helps me feed my girls that are capable into her program.
The region is peppered with former Colonels in the coaching ranks, including Frank Monica, who recently coached St. Charles High to its first ever undefeated season and Louisiana 3A championship. For This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Julie Baudouin.
Thank you very much, Julie. When we return, we've got highlights from a terrific Southland Conference hoops battle at Stouffer Gym. That and more on the way. You're tuned in to This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance.
There goes Dwayne's car. There goes Dwayne's house. And there goes Dwayne.
Man, that thing does not like Dwayne.
State Farm's got you covered.
In Lockport, call Ashley Barrios. And in Houma, call Travis Gravois.
Get to a better state.
Back with you for This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. I'm Mike Wagenheim. We appreciate you joining us. The Colonel men's basketball team has been hit hard by injuries this season. It's led to some lopsided losses over the last month. Nicholls started the Southland Conference campaign with an 0-2 record for the first time since the 2006-2007 season. Now, the Colonels played host to Northwestern State on Wednesday. The Demons were picked to win the East Division by the league's coaches. They're deep, they're experienced, two things the Colonels are not. But if one can be inspired by a loss, Wednesday was it, with projected starters Fred Hunter and Pedro Maciel already missing the entire season with injuries. We learned before Wednesday's game that starter Lachlan Prest would also miss the rest of the year with a knee injury. The team's only senior, Ben Martin, has been out since the fourth game of the year with a back problem. Two other regular starters, Dantrell Thomas and Chris Talkington, sat this one out as well as they recover from various ailments. Nicholls would dress just 9 players, including several walk-ons. They had just 3 prior years of Division I playing experience between them, and they still took the Demons to the brink. Look at all those players in street clothes behind the huddle there. Early action, Trevon Lewis on the wing, drives by the shot-blocking machine, William Mosley, for the lay-in. Nicholls is up by 1. Now, Mosley nearly averages a double-double. He gets the post feed from Demetrius Jacobs and goes up and under. 6-5 Demons 4 minutes in. Nicholls gets the ball in the hands of Brian Hammond. Dribble drive here, and he will find Jeremy Smith for the baseline J. It rattles down. Smith on his way to a career-best 14 points. 7 minutes in, the Colonels clear the rebound. Shane Rillier races it up the floor, spotting Hammond in the corner. That's a second of back-to-back bonus balls for Hammond. Nichols up 15-8. Lyndon Smith-Hyde played his season-high 23 minutes on the wing. The penetration, he fights through 3 defenders for the bucket and foul. The advantage is out to 9. Under 8 minutes left in the half, Lewis Ellis, tough to the basket for Northwestern State, absorbs the contact, gets it to fall. He was one of 4 Demons in double figures. The Demons loved to press, but the Colonels did a terrific job handling it. Working it to Sterling Bailey, he connects from long distance. Career-high 14 points for Sterling. Nichols up double digits. Demons in the top 10 in the nation in block shots, but Rillier, undeterred, slices through the paint for the finish. He scored a team-high 16. Last 5 minutes of the first half, Smith-Hyde with one of his 3 steals, and in transition, Lewis gets to the basket. It's 38-23 Colonels. Rillier here dribbling right by Jacobs and dishes to Smith-Hyde for the bonus ball. Colonels go into halftime leading by 14 points. We take into the second half of action where the Colonels have enough in the tank. Ellis drives, goes up in traffic, stripped by Rillier. 1-on-2, but he finishes anyway. 49-33 Nichols. Sometimes luck is just as useful as skill. Hammond's 3-ball hits everything in sight before falling through the mesh. Nichols knocked down 11 shots from beyond the arc, biggest lead of the night here at 19 points, but Northwestern State comes back swinging. Colonels go for the steal here, and they get burned. Patrick Robinson with the layup, 17 minutes left, and the Demons begin to rally. Tyler Washington up top spots Jacobs for the turnaround at the elbow. Northwestern State shot 61% from the field in the second half. The lead is down to 6 with 12 minutes left. Head coach J.P. Piper imploring his team to hang on. Out of the timeout, Rillier with the drive and the kick to Bailey. They leave him open, and Sterling makes him pay with a 3. The advantage is at 8 points. The Demons keep coming. Jacobs feeds Gary Robertson, who flattens Bailey and lays it in. 57-53 Nichols. Sam McBeath, though, would foul out 2 minutes later. Under 6 to go, 1-point game. Rillier gives it up to Smith, who drains it from the outside. But the Demons get within 1 again before Davis lobs it to Mosley down low. 5 players surround him, so he kicks it out to Holben for the 3, and the Colonels trail for the first time since the 15:53 mark of the first half. Final minute, Trevon Lewis is now fouled out. Ellis with a hard drive to the hoop gets it to drop. Northwestern State is up by 5. It's a 4-point game now. Rillier takes the inbounds pass all the way up the floor, the hesitation dribble, and he's gone. 78-76 Northwestern State. Timeout Colonels with 17 seconds left. The Colonels foul with 9 seconds left. Gary Stewart gets 2 shots. He buries the first, a chance to make it a 2-possession game. That would do it right there. Nichols would come back and get a 3 from Sterling Bailey at the buzzer, but the Colonels finish the game with just 6 players and fall by a single point. 80-79 the final. What an effort. Colonels will play host to Sam Houston this afternoon. Tip-off originally scheduled for 3:30, but due to the Saints playoff game, will go at 1 o'clock instead, and we hope to see you here at Stoford Gym today. The Nichols women's basketball team off to their best start in decades. After conference wins against Texas Arlington and Northwestern State, the Colonels are 9-6. They sit at 2-0 in the Southland for the first time in program history. Back on Wednesday in Natchitoches, Summer Leslie paced the Colonels, coming up just 2 assists shy of a triple-double, finishing with a game-high 22 points, 10 steals, and 8 assists. Leanne McCarthy came off the bench for a career night, scoring 20 points, while KK Babin and Alicia Allen chipped in 14 points apiece. Allen also had 10 rebounds, finishing with her second straight double-double. Head coach Doobie Plaisance and company will take on Sam Houston in Huntsville this afternoon. Well, like any intercollegiate athletics program, Nichols employs its share of student workers. But one student in particular has become a template of sorts for the soon-to-be expanding Colonel Sports Internship program. Reporter Ashley Bull has more on our very own utility player.
Considered to be the de facto member of the athletics staff, Caitlin Thibodeau displays promising skills through her work in the department. Caitlin is a mass communications senior concentrating in public relations. She has been around sports for a long time and started working as a line judge for the Nichols volleyball team her freshman year. Through an acquaintance, Caitlin heard about an internship program that the athletic department was working on.
The sports information director at the time and I kind of became, not friends, but we kind of became acquaintances, and she started realizing that I'd been around sports for a while and I was a mass comm major and everything. So she kind of got me working with all the teams almost individually. And
just from there, over the years, they've given me more and more responsibilities to what I have now.
Caitlin was the first student to be given the opportunity to gain experience through the department's intern program. She started by working under the supervision of Marketing Director Brandon Rutley, who is leading the efforts for the internship program.
We want to provide our interns with great work experience that for whenever they go on a job interview, they can say, I've already done that. And it's true, they have.
Though Caitlin is still a student, she dedicates her free time to working in the department to complete her assigned duties.
Caitlin, I mean, she works when she's not supposed to and she doesn't get paid, so it's one of those reliable type of people that you kind of wish wasn't graduating, but I'm definitely happy for her.
With both office and game duties, it can become overwhelming at times.
My day-to-day duties are in full swing during the semester where I'm in school. I'll go to school and either come here before or after classes or kind of in between. On Mondays is my busiest day here because I'll have meetings with my student workers and other members of the athletic department. Brandon Rutley and I will usually have a meeting or so every Monday. Most of the time we'll have meetings more than on just Mondays. I'll finish up the newsletter every Monday, and then from there I'll help with the baseball team a lot.
During athletic events, Caitlin will run stats and answer the phone. But if the event is short-staffed, she will have her student workers help to fill in those spots. Caitlin also handles other important duties.
She works football promotion, she does game day scripts, she does the same thing for basketball, and she also works a lot with our scores table and those people that work the clock and do a lot of different things for volleyball, baseball. You name it, Caitlin can do it. She is definitely a jack of all trades, and she is what we want to have in our department. We want to have people passionate about sports, somebody who cares about what they're doing, and we feel like not only are we getting a great worker, but she's getting great experience too to prepare her for, you know, later on in life to be reliable, to be on time.
It's real-world experience that some people don't necessarily get a chance to be a part of before they graduate, and I'm very grateful to be given the opportunity and be given all of the responsibilities and everything that I've been given from everyone.
Caitlin believes that there is much more she can do for the department, but there is just not enough time.
Just making it so much better, being able to do more videos, being able to do more feature stories, being able to just, you know, liven it up a little bit, I think would be great. It'll do nothing but attract people to the campus. For promotions, there's so many ideas that I think that we can put into action.
Overall, the athletics internship has prepared Caitlin for future challenges that she will face after graduating.
The responsibilities people have given me is nothing but real-world experience, and I can't stress to people enough, like, if you have an opportunity like this, to take it, because it's irreplaceable. Like, I'm seriously lost for words because of this experience. It's been the best experience that I've ever had, and I can't thank the people who've given me the opportunity enough.
For handling numerous duties on and off the court, Caitlin has proven to be a hardworking and reliable intern. For more information about the athletics internship, please contact Brandon Rutley via email at brandon.rutley@nichols.edu. That's brandon.rutley@nichols.edu. For This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Ashley Bull.
Tennis coach Meenakshi Sundaram joins us on the other side of the break. Back with more after this.
There goes Dwayne's car. There goes Dwayne's house. And there goes Dwayne.
Man, that thing does not like Dwayne.
State Farm's got you covered.
In Thibodaux, call Mike Bednards. And in Homa, call Mark Anderpont.
Get to a better state.
I'm Mike Wagenheim. Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. We're joined here on the show today by the head men's and women's tennis coach here at Nicholls, Meenakshi Sundaram. So glad you could join us.
Thanks.
We appreciate your time, and the
you,
season is right around the corner now.
Right. Couple of weeks will be our first match against South Alabama in Mobile. Guys and the girls as well, so we're looking forward to that.
What are some of the goals for this year coming up?
For the girls, definitely to make it to conference, and for the guys, hopefully to win conference.
Well, this is your first full year as a head coach. We got you in the spring of last year. What have you been able to implement in the time you've been here so far?
Well, we had I had a young guys team last year. They came in. I was new. They were new. It took us a while. And I came in the middle of the season, right when season started. We did the best we could. We came pretty close to all the conference matches we played. We should have won. I had an injury on the team. One of the main guys on the team, Roy Knight, couldn't play the whole season. So we're looking forward to him. He's fit this year and ready to go. And the guys are more mature this year. They're stronger. They're faster. And the girls are all new this year. Having said that, there's a lot of experience. And some of them, one is the transfer. The other one, I've got 2 transfers and 2 freshmen. Yeah, I've set some lofty goals for the girls team, and I think they'll come through.
You're native of India. You ran a great tennis academy in India for a long time. This tennis team, both on the men's and women's side, has a very international flavor to it.
Right. It's a good thing, and it's a bad thing in a way. I mean, every kid is from different parts of the world. But having said that, I've gone out and I found the first American kid. Yeah, the first kid, Rachel Howie. So she's from Mandeville. And she was, in the latest rankings, I think she was the #1 kid in state. And a lot of schools are looking at her, but I don't know. I must have been something I told her over the phone. She was very impressed, and she came down here for a visit, liked the community, and she's got some family down here as well, which is another reason why I wanted her on the team. So
you can't have a United Nations meeting without the U.S. involved. Tell me a little bit about how they all mesh together.
It's unique. It's very special. I think the common bond that they all have is the fact that one, they all play the sport, of course, but Nicholls, I think, playing for a team and playing for a common cause. See, tennis is an individual sport, and for a lot of them, this is the first time they're ever playing on a team. But you constantly have to hammer into them that they're here for a purpose and they're here to represent Nicholls, and it's no longer about them or the individual. So once they get the feel of it, the freshmen especially, then it's very easy. I mean, they realize that if they need to get along, they need to respect each other's culture because they're so different from all over the world. And they strike a good balance, so they get along just fine, yeah.
Every coach wants to put their stamp on the program. I think yours might be getting some new facilities in here, getting some new tennis courts. And coming up on Friday, January the 20th, we got our Toast for Tennis at Colonel Athletic Association fundraiser. That's going to be a great event.
Yeah, it's going to be, and we've already got a lot of support from the community, and more support doesn't hurt. Yeah, we're looking forward to as many people that can come out, all the tennis lovers. I mean, if you like tennis and if you hadn't had a chance to meet this team, great bunch of kids, guys and girls, great work ethic. They play a very entertaining style of tennis, fabulous kids. So please come out, get to know the kids, get to know me. I'm not such a bad guy.
Not at all.
And just meet the team and give yourself a chance to come out and watch some good tennis, because you don't get to watch a whole lot of good tennis in the Houma and the Thibodaux area. And I guarantee you my kids will perform.
That'll be the Toast for Tennis. It's coming up at the Holiday Inn of Houma. That'll be on Friday, January the 20th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. It'll last until about 9. We've got some terrific items up for auction, so that should be great to see. Tickets are $50 each. We'll give you the contact information here up on the screen if you're interested. 985-258-4186. That's 985-258-4186. You can also contact Trey Greco from the Colonel Athletic Association. It's Trey C. Greco at hotmail.com.
That's right.
We're going to have some great items up for auction.
Right. There's a lot of support from the New Orleans Danes. They've given up some Circus Trey families well known to the organization. We've also got some stuff that's been signed by some of the pros, the tennis pros. I'm going to keep that a secret, so you'll have to come out there and find out for yourself. There are a lot of doorway prizes. Trey in special has gone all out, and it's been a huge help to promote the event. Yeah, there's a lot of attraction. I mean, it's going to be, you get your dinner, you get your cocktails, you get the music. It's going to be a special evening, so yeah, come out and be a part of it.
First class all the way.
Oh, for sure, yeah, 100%.
That'll be at the Holiday Inn of Houma coming up on Friday, January 20th. More information available at our website at gocolonels.com.
That's correct.
GEAUX GoColonels.com. February the 1st is your opening match at South Alabama, and then we're here for the men February the 3rd against Oral Roberts. The women will open at home February the 11th against ULM. Hard to imagine it's right around the corner.
Yeah. Well, we're ready, and the kids, they all had their workout sheets over the break. Some of them actually did something about it, and the other one just, had too much pudding and pie. And but we're ready. We're ready to go. They're back. We came back a week early. Everybody seems fit. Everybody seems eager to go. So we'll be ready.
Can't wait.
Thanks,
Meenakshi
Mike.
Sundaram, the head men's and women's tennis coach, thank you so much for joining us. That's going to do it for this week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. Want to thank you for joining us. We're here again next Saturday, 10:30 a.m. on Cox Sports Television. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll chat with you again in 7 days' time. Until then, take care. Today's show has been brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state with State Farm Insurance. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.